So guys, my name is Shivraj and I'm experienced web developer with around 10 years of experience. So today we'll be quickly practicing the generator functions. So in my previous video you have seen I have created it on Redux-Saga middleware. So in order to understand Redux-Saga middleware, we need to understand generator. Generator are the backbone of the middlewares. So my this video will be focusing on how Redux Saga middleware is using generator, and we are not calling .next. Even then, all the yields inside the generator functions, these all the yields inside the generator function, how they are getting executed. Uh, what is the process going on in the internally in the Redux Saga middleware, how it is executing all this. So that will be cleared. So please be with me in this video. I will take for like a few minutes, and I promise you that you will be able to understand how this works. And then in the next video, I will also show you how with the for of loop we can achieve this thing. So this will be my next video where I have a few examples. So also I have this a short summary from AI. So this is a short note summary. So this will help you to clear, to understand this. Okay. So first let's start. So this function we have my saga. So think this as of that we were using here. See, here we are using saga, right, in our Redux Saga middleware. So how these yields are getting executed one by one. See, we have 1 2 3 yields inside this worker function. Whenever this watcher this it watches this type, it calls this worker, and this worker automatically calls all these three yields inside this. So how this works, so let us understand with this practice set. So suppose this is a worker function, right, my saga. So now our watcher function shows that we have clicked on that type, right? That type is that on click we are dispatching that type. Now this worker is called. So when this function you see asterisk mark. So asterisk mark tells that this is a generator function, and inside generator function we can use yields. So what yield is does, whenever we reach here yield, it pauses, right, and then we need dot next, then it runs further, then we need dot next. So like this. So let me show you how it works. So this is the function that we have, and this is how we will run it from line number 24. This is how we run it. So in order to run it, I will first invoke this my saga and keep its instance in iterator, right? So this is how we will have to call it. We cannot directly call it. So, and I also see, you can see this is what Redux-Saga is doing behind the scenes. So in this iterator, in this instance now, we have to call dot next in order to execute the first yield, this one. So let's execute the first yield. So what it will do, whenever we will execute, whenever we will do iterator or next, it will execute the first yield. So what does that mean? This line will get executed, and here yield fetch data request. So it will return this fetch data request, and we can access it here, because inside steps we will be having an object. That object contains type and value, not type. I will show you what it contains when we'll reach here. It contains whether it is done true or done false. One is that, and one is this value. So two things. So here we are getting steps dot value. Let's see. So in order to execute it, let me open the terminal, or you can press shortcut control this shift plus backtick, control shift plus backtick in order to open this terminal. And inside our CMD, I will quickly run this file. First, let's go inside this cd generator. Generator practice folder. GNERTOR underscore PRACTICE. Okay, we have SRC first, SRC, and then this generator function. Okay, now we are inside this, and now we can run node node and our file practice2 PRACTICE practice2 like this. See, now what we see, Saga started and output is fetch data request. What is Saga started? Saga started is the first line whenever this code, whenever this function executed, right? How this is executed? From line number 24. We have called iterator.next. Here we have created instance and then we have called iterator.next. So Saga started will be the first line that is getting printed here, this one, and then we have yield fetch data request. So yield fetch data request, this it is, this we have done this variable where it will get assigned, but here in line number 27 what we are doing, we are calling iterator.next. This will call this yield and it will pause over here in this line. In line number 11 it is paused now. Okay, line number 11 it is paused, and after that it has printed this step 1 dot value. This is step 1 dot value, fetch data request. So step 1, this receives whatever yield is returning. So here think of yield as a returns. Okay, like we are returning, like in normal function we can write only one return, but here we can have lots of return. This is the a good thing about using generator function. We can use lot of returns. Think of yield as a return, so we can have lot of returns in a single function. So here I have output fetch data request, so this, and if I remove this value, then you will see what object it is returning. Let's save it, let's call it again. See, it always returns this kind of object where you will have value. Inside value you will see the value which is getting returned from the yield, and done is false. Done means whether your generator function is completed, whether all the yields have completed, so that it shows. So no, because we have more in this function, right? So that's why yield is false, otherwise it will be true. So let's remove this, undo it, so we will be seeing the value, and let me run it again so that it can just print a value, that is fetch data request. So it is like this, we have an object, inside this we are only fetching this value. Okay, so this is the first, and now let me so you saw, right, it is paused here. That's why this line is not printed, 12th line, right? So it is only printed this, only first, only till output fetch data request. Only this line it printed, correct? It does not print this line because it has paused. So now we are clear how it is pausing. Now to run this line, we have to call this yield. So in order to move further, we have to call again dot next. So I will be calling this dot next here. I'm commenting this part. Okay. In comments, you can read the comments in order to understand better. So here I'm again calling iterator.next, but you can see I'm also passing this success 200. So this is why I'm passing this, to show you how Redux-Saga works internally. It passes the result from the first yield like this. So what this will do, this success 200, this string will be, this will get assigned here to this response, right? That's why you will see, let me show you. See, fetch data request, Saga received from middleware success 200, output 2, put set loading true. Okay, but you see this, Saga received middleware, It is not what we have got, that is fetch data request. It is success stored. Why? Because that is the good thing about this Redux-Saga and this generators. How Redux-Saga is using generators. It is assigning from here. From dot next, when you assign, so the value becomes the second next. We pass a value back to the generator. This value becomes the result of the previous yield expression. So previous yield expression, this one. So it will become the result of the previous yield expression. So this is how we can pass the value from the dot next inside this, like we did like this, and it becomes the result of the previous yield, this one, this yield which was at the top. So now you are seeing how this is working, and then again it paused, right? And then again it only printed this line, console this, and console log output. See, Saga 200 and output 2 is right. And then we'll have to move further. In order to move further, let me uncomment this part. So now what we will do, now this will completely execute it. Again run. See, first one from first yield, okay, and then after that when we have again called, that's why it is printing this line, and again this is getting called. Now this final state. So where is the final state? This final state, because we have called this next again, third time we have called next. That's why the third yield is being called, and so this is the first yield, this is the second yield we have, and this is the third yield, and we have Saga finished. Final state, step 3. What is step 3? Iter.text. So finally what we received, we did not pass here anything, right? So if we don't pass anything, so what we will get? Final state. Final state. Where is our final state? Final state, value, fetch data request, and done false. See, value, fetch data request, and done false. So iterator.next, when we did, so value, see, this is a third yield. So value, fetch data request, and done is false. It means it is not completed yet. So in order to complete it, we have to again call, because it has paused, right? It has again paused. So we will call again. This is the final. Final means we are completing this step final, or we can write completion. To know if this generator function is complete or not. Many times we need, right, if generator function is complete or not, so that we can we can stop our function. So how it knows? It knows because of this. Let me show you. Let us run this. See, done true. In all the above you will see done is always false, right? Because it is not completed, it is not done yet. But now done is true and value is undefined. So nothing is there and done is true. That means it is completed now. So this is how yield works, and this is how with .next we have to call it, and how Redux Saga beautifully uses this internally, and this is how it is working internally. And like this is it is passing the value, so that it becomes the result of the first iterator, first yield. So this is how yield is working behind the scenes. So what to look for you in terminal when you run this, pay close attention to the output 1 and output 2 logs. You will notice that the generator pauses at the first yield, right? And when we call the iterator next success 200, that string actually gets assigned to the const response variable inside the function. This is exactly how Saga works. You yield a request to the middleware. The middleware does the work like the API call, like any API that you call, it has completed that work, and then it pushes the result back into your function via the .next call, this one. So this is very important to look for this. So when the result is complete, you can pass again it to the first yield to become the response. So this is how beautifully it is working. So thank you guys. I thought it would take 4 or 5 minutes, but it has taken like 15 minutes. But now you will be able to understand how generators are working behind the scenes in Redux-Saga middleware. Thank you.